Well guys, finally got some sun for some solar. Batteries are almost full. This thing is doing a pretty good job. But I guess you get what you pay for. The new inverter just kicked the bucket. I don't know what happened, if there's a short somewhere or in the extension cord, or if the MOSFETs just decided to short, or what the heck happened, but it's a dead short across the fuses, and it literally just stopped working. It was working a second ago and now it's not working. I don't know what's wrong with this one. This one I didn't put near as many loads or anything as the other one. But that's it, nothing. Still have the power hooked up. So I will be taking this one apart and seeing if it's just a MOSFET. I don't think the board has been damaged because there's no smell, there's no smoke, no nothing, but it looks like these are pretty much just junk, these inverters, unfortunately. It's the only seller of inverters that I could find that was doing 60 volts on the input for my batteries, so I don't know what I'm going to do if I can't get this to work. Yeah, hopefully the 12 volt model at my grandparents' house lasts a bit longer than this, because man alive, this is pretty bad. I'll be contacting them just to let them know that it broke again and that I'm very displeased with their products. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Alright, so we got the inverter inside now with the old inverter for parts. And I believe I fixed it, but I replaced this MOSFET that was shorted and this MOSFET that was shorted. They showed signs of damage as well. These ones seem okay, but I'm going to replace every single MOSFET on this inverter because I believe these to be cheap fake MOSFETs. And I have all these replacement MOSFETs. I have almost enough still here. Let's see if that'll focus there. Okay. And whatever I don't have enough over there, these are all brand new MOSFETs, and I'm gonna take those off and I'm gonna stick them in here, and then I'm gonna have hopefully a good reliable inverter instead of whatever these are, because these MOSFETs seem to be just junk. But I'm not sure for sure if that's the problem, but I think it is, because it's okay. Alright, so the reason why I think these are fake, I don't know if we'll be able to see this. Okay, so now that I got a flashlight, this first one here, I don't know if you guys can read what's on it, but between that first one right there and then the second one, see the model number, it just seems a little bit different. So this one here is real. I think that's fake, and that one's real. See what you guys think. You guys will probably know this better than I. So, and these ones I believe are all fake. I don't know if they're fake, just low quality. I have no idea. But the new ones I got them from a reliable source. They weren't cheap either. So, anyways, I'm gonna replace them all, and I should have a good inverter again. Alright, so I've replaced most of the MOSFETs. I got the screws back in, and hopefully everything will work after this. There's no dead short on the input anymore, so that's good. And this is my soldering job. Anyways, I'll update you guys when I'm done. Alright, so we're in the garage again. I'm testing the new 3000 watt inverter I just received that just broke again. And how I'm doing that now, I replaced all the input MOSFETs. I think the outputs are fried now, because what I did was I put two 300 watt halogens in parallel to each other, so that the negative out of these batteries has to run through these lights, and then from the output of these lights goes back into the inverter, which would be if there's a dead short in the inverter, the only thing that happens is the lights turn on. This is not going to fry because it's only a couple amps. And what is happening here, when you turn it on, it tries to turn on, and these lights, as you can see, and I can hear it buzzing like it's trying to work. So I think there's an input MOSFET that is shorted. So I'm going to take this back apart, and hopefully I can find one off the old inverter that's not shorted and stick it in there. And the first thing I'm going to do is go online and buy some better output MOSFETs, because I think the outputs go first, which kills the inputs, but I'm not sure. Still got to check it all. But I think we're getting closer to a working inverter. Not sure, I just think we're getting closer. If I could get a good name brand 60 volt inverter, I would just buy that instead of dealing with this Chinese junk. Really, it's a good inverter when it's working. It runs a lot, but it does not seem to be very reliable. So at this point, I definitely would not recommend buying one of these. And if you do buy one thing I highly recommend, it's got fuses inside. Like, obviously, do not take it apart unless you turn it on, leave it on for 5 minutes, all disconnected, so you don't get the zap from any capacitors. But take half your fuses out. These things are way over fused. Like, this thing was fused at 15 times 5, 75 amps at 60 volts. This thing should never use close to 75 amps at 60 volts. Not even half that. And that's like a 6,000 watt surge, which this will never do. So to help save your main board and whatnot, I would take half the fuses out. Mine DC side with 3,000 watts was only taking what, 50 amps? I think it was taking 50 amps at 3,000 watts, but it couldn't do any more than that anyways. So if you take, like, I replaced all my fuses with 10 amp fuses, and I only have 5 10 amp fuses for a total of 50 amps fusible in this unit, and that's how I'm going to work with it. Anyways, thanks for watching. We'll find out if we get a working unit. Well, I think I found out what killed this inverter. I don't know if you guys can see that, but this capacitor here, I was noticing it was a little swollen on the top. These ones are all nice and flat. This one got all wonky here and it's all wiggly. It bursted out the side. It's actually, so I'm wondering if this caused a short on the AC side. Maybe these FETs are still good. I'm going to take this off and I'm going to check all these to make sure they're still good. But wow, that's what you get with Chinese stuff. You got to watch their capacitors, like everybody says. That's the weak part. If that's if that's what happened, I'm going to be ordering some new caps for this thing. So after going through this very thoroughly, I've been checking all these little resistors on the board here, and I found they are all the same across the board. They're in pairs, but these two, and these two are all reading a very different number. And this one's the same as the rest of all those resistors. So these 6 resistors I think are no good. I'm going to try replacing them. They're extremely small. I don't even have a soldering gun that's really sufficient for that, but I'm going to try it anyways. And I'm going to use the resistors from that one. And hopefully we get something working. Well, I definitely think I found out why this old inverter's not working. So apparently on this inverter, when the MOSFETs go, the little resistors here in front of them, they all go. So like, I've tested all of these so far and only 2 of them are good. They're all open circuits, every single one. Where in that, they're all good except for 6 over here, and those were the ones with the blown MOSFETs there. So I'm thinking if I replace those, this unit might work. Should be amazing. We'll see. See if I can find any good little resistors here. They're super small and they're going to be super hard to solder, but we're going to try. Thanks for watching, guys. Alright, I have no idea if this thing's going to work or anything. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let's see if I can zoom in here. Oh, battery's dead. Look at that. Anyways. All these little things here I just soldered on, and I have no idea if they're making contact. My solders look absolutely terrible, but I'm hoping it's just making enough contact. I'm gonna go over the one I see needs a little bit more. Actually, two of them do. Anyways, we'll see if this works. Okay, so haven't tried it yet, but I just put the meter on it, and now all these resistors measure the same, all of them. So they're making contact, which is good. Now it's just time to test it. Well, that did nothing. Well, it could have done something, but it's not helping my case. I still have a dead short somewhere in here that I gotta find. It's very interesting because these output caps, if I leave it on, every time it beeps, it goes up a little bit, up a little bit, up a little bit. I had it all the way up to like 140 volts on these output caps. So, what could it be? Anyways, okay, I'm gonna keep tinkering. Well, that's it for tonight. I give up. I think I'm close to getting this thing working. But, could use some pointers here. If anybody thinks they can help me, that'd be sweet. And if not, I'm gonna try and contact the manufacturer and see if they can help me. Not super pleased that it went again. I don't know why it would go again. It was only running 100 watts when it went, so I have no idea what gave way and what caused it to short or anything. None at all. Yeah, anyways, thanks for watching, guys.